Welcome to Lifing 101, a journey through life's experiences, challenges, and interpretations. An intriguing and soul-refining podcast that explores the countless twists of life. Get ready to be amused, enlightened, entertained, empowered, and inspired. Hosted by Tina C. Christian, your MC with the LPC, and guest co-host Lorenda McKinney, your MC with the PhD.
Welcome, lovely listeners, to an exciting episode of Lifing 101 podcast,
where we dive into life's little mysteries and offer you insights to help you lead a happier, more fulfilling life.
I'm your MC with the LPC, Tina C. Christian, navigating y'all through this journey up and down and all around on this emotional roller coaster we call life.
And I'm your MC with the PhD, Lorenda McKinney. So grab your favorite beverage, find a comfortable spot, sit back and relax while we embark on this restorative journey together.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening out there. So today we're talking about unplugged love, scrolling apart in romantic relationships. This is our series on romantic relationships or relationships in general. So today, Doc, we're going to talk about these key points in regarding to the effects of excessive social media and screen time on romantic relationships. Where do we want to start?
I'll say probably one of the bigger ones is diverting attention. So basically, instead of giving me your time, you're giving it to whatever platform of social media you're on. Then maybe sometime it's not even social media. Maybe you on screen time doing other things. But regardless, you're not giving me the attention. You're directing it somewhere else.
Right. I can feel that because I know, like, for me, I'm not a big social media user, or I don't a lot of screen time to social media, but I am on my computer or laptop often. So I know a lot of times my husband's thinking, oh gosh, she's on social media, but actually I'm checking emails,
right?
Doing other things on the computer. So just screen time in general can be an attention diversion from your romantic relationship.
Right.
So yeah, definitely attention diversion when you're using the computer, your phone, laptop, tablet, just screen time in general. So we're not just talking about social media. We're talking about overall screen time.
Yeah, I'm basically feeling like, hey, I'm over here, like I'm feeling neglected and like I'm not as important to you as whatever it is that you're doing on the computer.
Right. And I mean, I can see that, especially nowadays with a lot of people working from home.
Yeah.
Working from home. So you may be on the computer for work reasons. Right. And then a lot of times we have a problem unplugging.
Yeah.
Even after work. They're off work. However, they're still checking their emails.
Yeah.
Or working after hours or answering phone calls or answering emails or chats or something or messaging after hours.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely going to be an attention diversion from your romantic relationship.
Yeah. If you get off from work and you really don't need to be, but you choose to, that means you'd rather be attached to work than what's right in front of you. So I can see that.
Yeah. Or some people feel like sometimes I know there's things that you're trying to finish up.
Yeah.
But we'll never finish up. But you know, it's always like, I can just do one more thing. Mm-hmm. Or some people have a hard time detaching from work.
Yeah.
You have those workaholics that may want to just do one more thing.
Yeah.
Or answer one more email. Or try to get caught up so that on Monday morning they're not.
Right.
You know? So I can see that, or doing something late in the evening so they won't have to do it in the morning. But that is a attention diversion from your significant other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Another thing I would think of is comparison and insecurity. So when you're on social media, often, you know, you present unrealistic. Everybody's always portraying these perfect relationships and things like that. And then people tend to compare themselves and or their relationships. And so they start feeling inadequate.
Right.
Or feeling like maybe their relationship doesn't meet up to the standard or what it should be. But honestly, no relationship is perfect. But you have all of these seemingly perfect relationships on social media. And that can create a problem or create unrealistic expectations, you know, in your relationship and insecurities.
Yeah. And then you're hashtagging goals under relationship pictures and stuff. And you don't even know they probably ain't even together by the time the picture posts. So just don't get caught up in what somebody else is doing. Focus on yourself and your relationship, because what we know for a fact is is that half the stuff you see on social media is not as it appears. We all smile for the damn camera. I mean, come on now.
Right.
That don't mean that on the way there, he didn't have to walk halfway to get to the camera because I put that ass out. So don't ever let the pictures be the final, the finals. Oh God, I love them. They always get along. You know them? No, but they always smiling in pictures.
Right.
We all can do that. Some people smile in mugshots. They ain't happy.
Right. Because I've heard people say that a lot of times. Like for me and my husband, in the beginning, I think a lot more than now because we don't really post as often, but people will be like goals and perfect relationships and black love. And I'm like, we have our problems.
Right.
We have ups and downs. We're normal.
Right.
We live in this world where not everything is perfect 100%.
Right. That's not realistic.
It's not. So really having realistic expectations of your own relationship, because every family and every relationship is different. So the dynamics and the breakdowns of your family and your relationship will be different. So don't judge or compare or try to compete, and don't allow yourself to be insecure because of other people's relationship that you see on social media. That is not the norm.
Right. And don't compare and compete just because you may see somebody on there and be saying goals, but that has no meaning that person would be that to you. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that. What they do for one person doesn't necessarily mean if y'all got in a relationship, you're getting those same benefits. So I understand supporting black love or any love because we need more of that. Amen. But don't let it consume you so much that you're constantly thinking, how can you get like them? Because you really don't know what them is like.
Exactly. You don't want to be like them. You want to be like your vision of a perfect relationship or near perfect relationship, because nothing's perfect, but a content relationship where you both are happy and content in your relationship. So don't compare and don't allow yourself to be insecure because of what other people are posting. Don't get too caught up in social media where you're just simply scrolling apart because you're sitting there trying to compare yourself to someone else. Right.
And then you're getting off the computer, you immediately go, lights, camera, action, time to get like them. And your mate is probably sitting there going, what the hell?
Right. I didn't
So just don't. You're not paying me for that role. Like I didn't know I was the one that y'all picked. Like, don't do that.
So what's another issue with screen time? Too much screen time, too much social media. What's something that could happen in relationships?
I would say communication breakdown. And the thing about that is communication is key, and we know that.
Correct.
So if you add anything to it to jeopardize effective communication, it's a problem. So I'll say this, and this ain't really relationship based, but sometimes people go over to their email and they act like they're still texting, and you're looking at the email going, what in the world is this? But they're using lingo like they're still texting.
Right.
So when you're talking to your significant other and you're acting like you are still on social media or something, and you're losing the idea of effective communication because you're starting to communicate with me like either if it's screen time, like maybe you're playing the games and you know how they be on the gaming systems. You are communicating with me like one of those people.
Yeah.
Or you're just starting to use lingo in your life like you're still on the computer. Right. And I've seen it with these younger people when they email me to ask me stuff. And I'm sitting there reading it like, what? And then all of those the LOLs, ROG, PPR, like none of those are real ones, so don't go Googling it. But, all of those, and I'm sitting there going, I'm your significant other. We not talking regular English anymore. So where you think that that's okay, that could lead to a problem because it's like our communication isn't clear. Right. You're treating me kind of like a homie or the person on the other side of the computer if you're playing a game or something.
Right, but people get so caught up in the communication online.
Yeah, they can't separate it.
Email or text messaging or social media that they don't really value the face-to-face interactions anymore. And that's one of the communication breakdowns in all types of relationships.
It
because
is.
The social interactions are just kind of off.
I got a text message about a job the other day, about a human resource job. I got a text message. And my cousin's wife was like, don't respond to that. It might be a scam. It wasn't a scam because after I looked at it, I went back to look at the places I applied and it was legit. But it's like, what's wrong with picking up the phone? This is an HR position. What's wrong with picking up the phone? No, it's a text message and I can reach out to you to call call you back if I'm still interested.
Wow. See, there's the communication.
Yeah, we're losing it.
That.
Yeah, we're
so
losing
just
it.
imagine how it is in your personal romantic relationship if everybody's using text message.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just so, it's not personal anymore.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I could have been like one of these people and text back like, who this? She wouldn't have responded because she would have been like, we don't want
Never
her.
mind.
But it's just the point. You're opening it up for me to respond via text just like you did.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, I know, like, I feel like with online and screen time and just being on social media, I'm not a person. I used to be. Mm-hmm. I used to be really into social media, but I've learned that being on social media often takes me away from everything else I could be doing.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with social media. I enjoy it. However, I feel like there's so many other things that I could be doing that is taking my time from. And I've noticed and heard from a lot of different people that they are starting to try to reduce their time or deactivate their accounts and things because it really does decrease your intimacy in your relationships. So if you have this excessive screen time, it can really decline, in your physical and emotional intimacy and interactions with your partners, because instead of spending quality time with them, you're actually online prioritizing all your time with the screen time and things. I know I get caught up, like whether it's TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, especially with Reels. Mm-hmm. So I'm on there and I'll just be scrolling, and then you see one and you want to see another, and I can get lost in that. So I can kind of see where, like, if you're spending so much time there and you're getting kind of lost in that, your attention is deferred.
Yeah.
It's going somewhere else. So you could be spending that time. If I'm spending maybe 3-4 hours scrolling, watching Reels, I could be spending that quality time with my significant other or my spouse or even my family, or doing something more meaningful than scrolling and just watching Reels. Again, nothing wrong with it. Right. But in moderation. Everything in moderation.
Right. And we're not here to tell you don't use your social media or don't do whatever you enjoy. We're just saying that if you are in a relationship, just respect the relationship. And the golden rule, like anything, do unto others if you would like done to you, because I guarantee you, if you wouldn't be okay with it, neither is your significant other. So just be considerate. And if y'all both sit next to each other and y'all both on social media, hey, I guess that's still quality time. I don't know.
I don't agree. I don't think that's quality time. I think you both need to put the damn phones down.
We could be holding hands with one hand and then on social media. See, I haven't fell for the TikTok. I haven't fell for that. So I'm basically just Facebook. That's it.
God.
I'm not on anything. Yeah, I'm not on anything else. But when I went to see my friend in Alton, that's what her boyfriend said. Oh my God, I be thinking she's going to bed. And guess what? She's watching TikTok. So
yeah, because if I get bored or if I'm not sleepy, that's what I'll do. I'll watch Reels. However, a lot of times it's if my spouse isn't home or if they're, sleep.
Right.
But that could be a problem. And I have had situations where I'm in those Reels and he may be sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, let me get off.
Yeah.
Because I can get lost.
Right.
So, I mean, you really can get lost in those things because sometimes they're funny or they're interesting or, the algorithms will pull up something else that they know you're interested in. So you just kind of keep scrolling and getting in. But it really does decrease the time of intimacy that you have with your significant other if you're taking that time away from them and just scrolling. Again, nothing wrong with it. However, in moderation, and be mindful of your time that you're spending doing those sort of things. Yeah.
Right.
So what's another thing that you can think of in regarding to too much screen time or social media?
I will say erosion of trust. And this one is funny to me because last week or the week before last, I was joking with Tina because I said that people always say when couples start sharing a Facebook page, somebody done cheated. You remember I said that? Because everybody says that. Everybody's like, oh, if you see a Facebook page and now it's a couple page, somebody got caught cheating. So now they just got the page, which is silly to me because if that is the case, putting both of y'all on the page ain't about to stop nothing. So what that means is I just won't communicate with you on social media. I'll just hit you on your phone. So the whole making it a family affair in the photo that's on, it don't. And I see it all the time about people saying if you ever see a couple in one picture and it's their page, somebody done cheated. And I don't really know if it's true or not, but I do wonder why.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
why?
insecurities.
Yeah.
Suspicions or insecurities.
Yeah.
Or maybe they feel like if we're on here as a couple, maybe someone won't DM you, which is not true because
It's not
people
true.
don't give a damn.
They don't. So what that just means is now I'm going to get to see whatever somebody said because it won't stop them. And I'm going to tell you, because people react and act like rebellious teenagers. You do that, you really inviting some static because people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to see.
Yeah.
Oh, he used to like this. Oh, he don't want to be my friend now because they share. I'm telling you, you really are just opening the door. If you guys decide to be on social media, just put out those expectations and the rules from the very beginning.
Right.
And then when the person does something different from that, they violated it. And just leave it that way. But the whole thinking that I'm going to be all on you and smother you on Facebook or whatever social media just to make sure you don't do it, I'm telling you, the more you do people like that, the more they'll tend to behave the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they think that you're trying to control them. So they're not going to do what you want them to just because of that.
Right. But yeah, I can see how it could erode the trust in relationships because if you're on social media excessively, it's
you
probably
constantly checking.
Yeah.
You like,
It's
oh my
gonna
God,
raise
let me
some
see let me see if somebody
Yeah.
posted, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna, it may raise some concerns and it may make your significant other feel like it's more important than they are.
Yeah.
So that's going to create some insecurities or create some trust issues, I think. So definitely.
They done got kind of wild too because they said that it was, I know last year or the year before last, it was a big deal. They had created a group, Sis, That's Your Man. And people was putting people in there asking if this was also their man. And people was literally... People was literally like, yeah, that's my man. Like, trust me. But social media is what you make of it because it's nothing's going to happen on there that you pretty much don't invite or don't allow, basically. But honey, they had it was either last year or the year before last, and it was, sis, is this your man or that's your man? God. And people was putting their significant others' pictures in there to see who would say they knew them. And we know Kansas City ain't but yay big. So be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. I mean, you may have been doing it. Like, I bet won't nobody say they know him, and then 12 people came forward. So, I mean, hey.
Kind of like that one thing, that was it. They had like a website where they were like putting people on there and they were cheating and shit.
Looks like about a month ago, it was somebody that had posted one of the big banner things going out. James A. Reed had a picture of the lady, the home wrecker. And everybody's like, on James A. Reed, I was like, hey, it's wherever people are going to be. Sure enough.
Yeah.
Sure enough. I wonder how that went for her. I mean, because you know somebody that work with you or know somebody that work, you know the church found out, the school where your kid go, your job. Like, did you go get it and put it up? Like somebody was mad at you.
Right. Well, don't let social media get you out in trouble. Don't be DMing people.
Yeah, just don't.
I mean, it's not worth it.
Yeah, just don't.
To go on to the next, it really is a distraction from quality time. And it really does affect the impact of your shared activities.
Right.
So, I mean, like, say, for instance, if you usually have shared activities that you do and hobbies within your relationship, instead of engaging in those meaningful experiences together, you usually, I mean, if you're spending too much screen time, you're taken away from that.
Yeah.
You don't have time to do the other things that you like to do because, like, for instance, for me, my husband and I, we like to listen to music. We like to dance. We like to, enjoy the time together. However, if one of us or both of us are sitting there when we're supposed to be spending quality time sitting up on our phones or social media, then we're taken away from those activities that we usually would like to do. And so it's really that distraction from the quality time that we would love to be spending originally together because now all of a sudden we're on the screen, And again, it doesn't have to just be social media. It could also be on the computer because I know for me, I have like 5 or 6 damn email accounts. So I'm checking like hundreds of emails in every account every day. And it really does take a lot of time.
It does. I can only imagine.
And sometimes I feel like I'm like, I wonder if my husband thinks I'm telling him a lot because I'm like, I'm trying to check my emails. He's like, you on the computer all day. I'm like, well, I was checking emails. But let me tell you, I have so many different emails based on like the retreat, the podcast, podcast, my personal email accounts, and then I have an email account with my spouse, and then I have email accounts that I had before that I use for certain things. Then I have my email account that I just use for junk. So I'm trying to clear these out.
Right.
And it's a job.
Yeah.
It really is a job. So like,
are you hiring?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought she had talked herself right into a new employee.
I tried that before. I told you that.
I know, baby, but this was going to be different. This was going to be successful.
For my email and when I took a
but
vacation,
you didn't have me, though.
She took a vacation and she never showed back up.
You didn't have me, though, honey.
But that is like a full-time job.
Yeah.
So be mindful of your time that you're spending on checking email, on being online, just surfing or whatever you're doing online, because it is really a distraction from quality time. And so, whether it's supposed to be dinner night, dates or movie nights or vacations or whatever, try to engage in more quality time with your partner and try to enjoy and be present in the moment.
Right.
Because I know it gets hard for us. And I say all the time, like when we're going on vacation, I'm like, let's just turn our phones off.
Yeah.
But rarely do we do that.
Right.
Because I think we've gotten so used to
it. Is. It's almost like you think you're going to miss something
like
when maybe you do need to miss something.
You probably do.
Yeah.
But I mean, people get so caught up in social media and online, and just think back. When we were in high schools, we didn't have this.
Right.
We didn't even have the ability. We didn't know anything about social media.
Right.
Didn't have cell phones and all that stuff. So we really didn't have that distraction. But now it's like we can't freaking live without it.
Right.
But honestly, we really can. And I would challenge anybody to just try to go without social media for some time. All of them. And just try to take that time and spend some quality time with your mate and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think, like I said, we feel so naked.
Right.
We feel like we're missing something.
Right.
But I have taken time off from social media at a time. Say, for instance, when we're doing the fasting for church.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to give up something. I usually give up social media.
Yeah.
And it was hard the first time I did it.
Because that's the only way it's a sacrifice if you give up something that's really going to bother you.
And I felt so bad because I was like, dang it, I'm missing birthdays.
Yeah.
I'm not able to tell people, God, they're going to be so mad. But now I don't give a darn.
Right.
And I miss birthdays all the time because people have birthdays every day and I can't keep up. And I'm not on social media every day. But after doing that fast, it didn't bother me as much. But I know some people live for social media. And I think that's probably because they don't have meaningful personal interactions and social interactions in person. And I think we all need to really create more opportunities for social interactions with our spouses and significant others and our children and our family members, and try to limit our screen time and try to do without it sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes in a relationship, maybe there's one person that's really not, but because the other person always is, then they get sucked into it. Yeah, because they're like, okay, if this is what they're going to do, I can't make them stop, then I might as well get in it too. And I do think sometimes it is because some people maybe don't have any other connection, so that gives them the entertainment they need. I personally like it because I have people from other places where I live. So without me having to reach out, I kind of like being able to see what's going on or whatever. But if I was in a relationship and I felt like it was really a problem for us, trust me, I'm going to choose if it's a healthy dispute. Because if it's something that has to do with some personal problems that person has with insecurities and things, controlling it. It has to be a healthy reason why we're gonna limit our time or whatever. By all means, I would limit it because nobody on that computer and what they're posting or anything is gonna be more important than your significant other. So if you choose to do it, even though it's causing problems, you're basically saying the opposite. You're basically saying, I don't care what you do, but I'm gonna be on here. What is making you want to be on there so you can hashtag goals on people's like what is it that would be more valuable than your relationship that you're in?
But I think people have gotten so used to it and they're addicted. Yeah. I believe like online screen time, social media is addictive.
And I guess it is, especially the people that literally be on every single one, every single day. So they checking like 7 different social medias and everything. And they're checking it every day. Like, I couldn't imagine that.
And I'm always like, when I see that, I'm like, do y'all work? Do you have a life outside of social media? I mean, like, what does your day look like?
Right.
How do you manage Facebook, TikTok, Instagram?
Like, it's some things that we don't know about, because I've had people ask me if I'm on such and such.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't
what
know
is
anything
that?
about all those other.
Yeah, are you on screen porch with the door on the back? Like, I'm like, what is that? Is it as exotic as it sounds? Screen porch with the door? No, but literally there are there's a lot of platforms. We're sitting here thinking, we on TikTok, social media, Facebook, and Instagram. Mm-hmm. Honey, that's not even putting a drop in some of the stuff. And then some people play the games on the social media. So I think a lot of it is games, and people are addicted to that. I think a lot of it may be that.
But social media, not Facebook, but just social media in general is very addictive. Mm-hmm. I remember years ago, I joked about creating a group for social media addiction or Facebook addiction. But honestly, truthfully, that is really an addiction now.
But they might be all for it, because you guess what? That's a chance to be on the screen time. They like, ooh, from one screen time addiction to another one. Who's out here? Check in if you're on. Like,
nah, I'm gonna make them come in.
That attendance gonna be good, honey. Everybody's here.
Try to be an in-person. Because no, seriously, at one point in time, I wondered if I was, but after I was able to give it up, I realized that I wasn't. But it can really be, because just think if you don't have a life outside.
Yeah, I think that's when people run a chance of
really
it.
Get so just thrown into it that they don't even have a life outside of. So I'm glad that I'm not there, because I can definitely see how that can cause the conflict, in any relationship.
Oh, for sure. Because even now on LinkedIn, because I'm on there more now than I used to be, that's not even always about what I thought it was about. I was like, because it's this one man on there, I swear, I'm like, if he posts one more picture of himself, I'm like, this should be on Instagram, right? But it is. I mean, people will redirect us. They'll redirect the social media platform in a minute, honey. I said, if somebody don't marry him, because I think he's looking for a wife, he's recruiting for a wife. Yeah. He's like, at least these people supposed to have a job. They got degrees, or at least they saying they do. Which he's definitely on to something. He wants the successful people. But honey, if they see you posting your pictures like that, they ain't got no reason to be in a relationship, because hell, they can see your picture every day without the relationship.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, I wonder, how do people find as much time as they find to get on social media or online like they do? I mean, they're really scrolling literally apart from their relationships, because I've seen married, single, in a relationship, whoever, young and old, constantly on social media. If and when I get on and I look, and you know how you go to like a homepage and you start scrolling, and you'll see like certain people, if I don't get on for a few days, I guess the algorithms pull up, your people or who, and it's like, well, damn. Did she work? Did he do anything else other than, because I see like maybe 40 posts that I haven't seen in 2 days. Right. Because they've been, and I'm like, if you're in a relationship or you have a significant other and you work, how do you find that kind of time?
And even if you have children, because you're not even showing them that you don't have to be on there, and then people wonder why. I had posted this picture on Facebook today, and the teacher literally had everybody's name marked on it. You'll have to look. And the teacher literally wrote everybody's name on there. And every time their phone went off in the class, she put a mark. If you would see the picture that she posted with all these marks. Now, people know you're in class and your phone is going off. And then we wonder why they're not getting the education that they need. And then I remember like a few years back, one of the students tried to fight a teacher because the teacher wanted those phones put up during their class. And I don't know why that's not a thing for school.
It should be.
I don't know why that's not. Don't bring your phone out, and all phones have to be on vibrate. I don't understand why that's just not okay. Like, that seems like that should be the rule.
But everybody's so addicted to their phones to the access to.
Yeah, but I don't think that you should have to look over that for education. I just don't.
And like I said, back in the day, we didn't have them
at all. We had them pagers, baby, and we had them, honey. We had them pagers on vibrate, honey, because we did not back then. They confiscated your stuff.
They did,
and your parent either had to come and get it or the last day of school. And you know what your parent would do if they was a good parent? Not go get it.
Yeah,
you had it out. You don't need it.
Right.
And they wait till that last day of school. Every morning you wake up, you like 99 more wake ups. 99. Because you're waiting to get it back. Because, honey, we need more of them parents. Mm-hmm. We do.
We do. Because, like I said, with the age of technology, I believe that we've really come into the age of emotional disconnect.
Right.
I mean, in relationships, in our homes, in our children, and just in people in general, you notice that people don't even know how to communicate.
Right. Just
anymore.
Like we were talking about with COVID. Mm-hmm. Once COVID hit and people had to quarantine, people they felt like they was living with a stranger.
Right.
Because they did not know how to. Some people probably literally email and social media their significant other and don't really talk to them much face to face. I mean, people probably do really function that way.
They do.
People probably like, did you see my email? Did you see that I instant chatted you? And you sitting there going, no, but you're standing here right now. What did you want to say? Oh, nothing. You didn't see it?
Yeah.
So it's probably people that couples that probably do not communicate effectively now because they use that social media platforms or whatever to communicate. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's the emotional disconnect is just bad. But with the significant others, it actually can make it difficult to do any type of connecting on a deeper level.
Yeah.
So maybe you starting off new, and that time is important because you're getting to know each other. And then that's taken away because you got social media in the way. So you're not even getting that substance that you need.
Right. And speaking of that, loss of authentic connection.
Right.
I mean, like, excessive screen time is taken away from the connection with your partner and the emotional connection, and is distracting from the quality time, and it's impacting your shared activities. But then it's like, do you really have an authentic connection?
Exactly.
Because if all you have is like this online and or text messaging or emailing, or if you're only communicating through these channels, I mean, really, is there a real connection?
Right. And maybe you're avoiding that. Yeah. Maybe you're avoiding that real connection by using this
to interact without it.
Right.
I was watching, it was an old episode probably of 911, and Athena with Bobby, Athena, if you watch 911, she's the cop, Angela Bassett. Mm-hmm. And then you have the husband that she married, Bobby, who's the fire chief. Well, they were going on a cruise and she kept avoiding him. And every time he wanted to do, she was avoiding him. She was trying to put other people like to do things with him and stuff. And then she eventually admitted, well, I don't even know how to interact with you without all the other noise.
Right.
And so that kind of made me think about that, because it's like, if people are only interacting online and then in social media and stuff, whether you're just in a romantic relationship or married or whatever, but when you get in front of somebody, do you even know how to interact?
Yeah, can you even answer what's their favorite thing or whatever? Or you with another couple? Yeah, you with another couple and they looking like, did they come together? Like, they don't even know each other. Like, seriously, because they don't do anything to push that. They literally work against building that connection. Yeah.
Can you have a genuine conversation?
Right.
Or is everything just kind of, facilitated through your screen time?
Right.
It really does create a sense of emptiness.
Yeah.
You really should have some meaningful conversations and some quality time and some shared activities without online time.
Right.
And so these points that we're pointing out, the whole point is to help couples recognize that there's potential pitfalls in excessive social media communications and excessive screen time in your relationships. And we want to just help you kind of work towards establishing more healthier digital habits, as well as being able to nurture your relationship and your connections with others.
Right.
So we're not saying that screen time or social media is bad. We're basically saying limit your time, be more mindful and aware of the quality time that you're spending with others, definitely your spouses and significant others and or children and family members. And don't just rely on social media and or any type of online platform to communicate with others. start socializing with people in person. Learn how to communicate, even if it's picking up a phone and talking, not just screen time, because I think we're losing that personal touch.
We are. But the phone is going too far. You don't got to pick up the phone and talk. I'll be like, most definitely you could have texted me about that. What? Did you have something else to tell me? No, you didn't. If you don't shoot me a text.
Well, sometimes I feel like,
No, some things warrant a conversation. Yeah, no, because, some things warrant that. I felt
horrible. Like, for instance, my cousin, years ago, my uncle passed away. And I had a car accident. And I was at the facility trying to get treatment. But in the process of it, I learned of my uncle passing. So I couldn't actually talk to her. So I'm trying to text her and tell her this. And it was so impersonal. And I didn't think about that. Yeah. And that was really wrong to text somebody that. But it was like, oh, I got to tell her, but I'm here in this situation myself. And it wasn't that I was trying to be, inconsiderate or impersonable, but it was just like, I need to tell her now, but I can't call, but she needs to know. Yeah. So, but that was something that was very impersonal. And you should never text anybody and say, hey, your uncle passed.
Yeah, because you're not giving me a chance to react the way I want to, because when it's something like that, you're never responding fast enough. So the person is sitting there going, what? Yeah. So, for sure.
And you need to prepare people for stuff. Certain things require in-person and or verbal communication. Yeah. And then when we're communicating online, stuff gets lost in translation.
It does.
Tone and
everything. Does.
So I know there's been a lot of misinterpretations and misunderstandings because people text and they may take your tone wrong or something. So just remember that not everything can be communicated online.
Right.
In social media or in an email or in a text. Some things do require a personal touch.
And the thing about it is with our youngins is it's so much the thing to do that when they get to our age, it's going to be horrible communication. Mm-hmm. It really is. They're just not going to have a clue at all. Yeah. They just not. But one more thing I wanted to talk about was the conflict of usage. Mm-hmm. Like, do you set boundaries or are y'all arguing every night? I seen you loved her picture. Who was that that commented under your picture?
Oh
now y'all got specific arguments. Yeah. They waiting to see if one person does, or how do you decide if you get to be your ex's friend on social media? Like, honestly, from the start, you set those boundaries and then y'all friends only so y'all can watch each other. It's not surveillance. It should not be.
It shouldn't.
And if you're comfortable, that should be the farthest thing from your mind. So you got something to worry about way before social media comes into it.
That's the case.
Yeah. Are you secure in it? Because I'm not about to sit up and have no whole argument about social media. And now you packing your stuff up and everybody, the people house you go to, because now you need somewhere to sleep. They like, what happened? Right. Well, such and such loved my picture and put something underneath it. And now, like, that just sounds silly because
that's so
it's real. It's real. But you know why? Because it's not set up from the very beginning. Like, you can be on social media, but let's agree not to do this.
Right.
Because you can't control people.
You can't.
They're going to do that. That's why I said the thing about sharing a page. You can't control people. They'll get real messy if they want to. You can't control them. When people loving on your post and they know you married and they know your wife going to flip out, that's intentional to see how strong it is. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, people are doing it. You think somebody loving on your post and have no idea the effect it's going to have?
Right.
And then you probably going to reach out to that same person when you get put out. For the post, you probably on the phone. Yeah, she was tripping because you love my picture. Why you do that? She was tripping because I put 3 hearts. But she ain't got nowhere for you to stay because somebody already staying with her. So just lay out the boundaries from, just like with anything, make those expectations and everything clear, because then you have a right to be in a serious conversation about it if the person doesn't respect what was set up. But if you just wait for things to happen for you to say, oh yeah, by the way, I don't want you to do that. Huh? You done told me 94 things this week that you don't want me to do. Are you waiting for me to do it so you can say it? So if y'all gonna choose to be on social media, make sure that both of you are being fair. One person ain't always on it, or on 10 platforms. One person's on one and only got our church group on there. Make sure that it is fair, because the person is gonna feel like they're getting cheated because it's not even, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
But and that's a whole nother story, because there is a lot of cheating going on with social media.
Yeah, because they change everything into a dating with. I'm like, wait a minute, is this love connection? Like, yeah.
So stay tuned for next week because I think that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
The secrecy in relationships. And
Yeah.
how sometimes social media can get you in trouble because
Right.
people are having these love connections and maybe not even intentionally.
Right.
But when you have people DMing you in your
Exactly.
inbox and stuff, and some people really do it intentionally.
Yeah, if you
to
leave that
fill
door
you
open.
out,
Yeah, if
even
you
to
leave that door
see
open.
if you're available.
Yeah.
So don't let social media get y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
Break up your relationship. And by all means, unplug sometimes, and don't allow social media and screen time to allow you to scroll apart in your romantic relationship.
Exactly.
That's
Don't
the point.
allow social media to have you looking for that Walmart bag to put your 4 items in because everything else she brought in, you can't take it with you. Like know what you're dealing with, honey. And if you a serious social media, make sure you got a good savings account because I'm telling you, the first thing she gonna do is whatever's gonna hurt the most, honey. So when you walking out there with 3 pair of socks and they all mix match, hey, we are not responsible for that. But really, all jokes aside, respect each other.
Correct.
Respect
That's what
each
it's
other
about.
because if you think about how I would feel if that happened to me, you won't do it.
Correct.
So put yourself in those put yourself in those shoes. If you wouldn't like it, don't do it.
Right. So until next time, people, stay hopeful
And stay curious.
Before we part ways, we invite you to share your own stories, thoughts, and reflections with us. Connect with us on social media, reach out through our website, or simply leave a comment on your preferred podcast platform. Feel free to leave us in voicemail at 816-607-1243 with any thoughts, concerns, or questions that you'd like shared on Lifing 101 or just answered or addressed. If you prefer to send us an email, feel free to do so by sending it to our website, lifing101pod.com, or send us an email to info@lifing101pod.com. Your insights and experiences enrich our shared understanding of this incredible journey we're all a part of. Please subscribe to this podcast and follow our website, lifing101pod.com, and find and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Stay hopeful, stay curious, and keep embracing the vibrant, unpredictable, and awe-inspiring journey that we call life. Goodbye for now, and may your days be filled with endless wonder.